Yo, Rubber Duckies, what is up? I am back. I know I took a little bit of a break for a while, and that was because I was kind of going through something, but I'm back feeling better spiritually, emotionally, physically, all that good stuff. And what I wanted to jump into first was actually going to be my motivationals. I realized that they actually inspire people to kind of reach out to me. Like, I had people that I knew, people that I didn't know hit me up in my inbox and kind of just vent to me. I had somebody who was going through a divorce. I also am going through a divorce, so I was able to kind of connect with them on that. I had somebody who was having thoughts of suicide, and I also used to have thoughts of suicide. So I was able to kind of talk to them and walk them through that process and, kind of keep in touch with them. And today I wanted to talk about building your house upon a rock and not sand. I'm going to be reading out of Matthew 7. I got to go get my Bible because I decided to do this outside today. The lighting in my house is driving me crazy, so here I am. But I definitely wanted to get into that, and I kind of just want to talk about, working on yourself, making sure that you are okay. Alright, so we're going to talk about having a strong foundation. Usually when you have a strong foundation, you're able to go through the storm a little bit better, and you're able to overcome obstacles a little bit easier. And when you don't have a strong foundation, that may be a little bit more difficult. So you kind of want to think of yourself as, the foundation of your life. If you build a strong foundation for yourself, good things will come out of that. So especially if you have like kids, you want to be good for yourself in order to be good for them, because you can't neglect yourself and not be good for yourself and still try to be good for them. They're going to see the real you. They're going to see who you actually are, and they're not going to be able, they're not going to be like, oh, okay, mom's acting like this, dad's acting like this, this is what I should be doing because they told me to do this. No, they're going to do what you're doing. So what I wanted to start out with today was going to be starting out in Matthew 7. Beginning in verse 1. Judge not that ye be not judged. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye mete, it shall be measured to you again. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own eye? Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then thou shalt see clearly to cast out of the mote out of thy brother's eye. Give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet, and they turn again and rend you. What I took from that is that sometimes you really have to focus on yourself. Sometimes you have to do what you need to do for yourself in order to be good for others. Like, there's no way that you can sit here and, say you're not financially stable. Say you're not financially stable at all, and you're having a hard time paying bills, living paycheck to paycheck. And somebody keeps asking you for money and stuff like that. You really want to help them, but you can't. You really can't. If, maybe the Lord will bless you in a way that you can bless them, but if you don't have it, you don't have it. Sometimes you have to take care of yourself before you take care of somebody else. I have done that plenty of times. And if I would have thought of myself before I thought of other people and, taking care of me, I would have been better for myself and better for them. Because how are you going to take something out of somebody else's eye when you got something in your own eye? How can you even see clearly enough to be able to help them out? You got to focus on you for a second. You got to get you taken care of. And then once you do that, go ahead, do what you got to do, help your friend out. But at the end of the day, you have to start with yourself. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and continue to read, starting out in verse 7. Ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be opened. Or what man is there of you, whom is his son ask bread? Will he give him a stone? Or if he ask a fish, will he give him a serpent? If ye then, being evil, know how to give good gifts unto your children, how much more shall your Father which is in heaven give good things to them that ask him? Therefore all things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, do ye even so to them, for this is the law and the prophets. Enter ye at the strait gate, for the wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which, and many there be which go in through it. So, I really want you guys to focus on this. So I'm in verse 13 right now. Enter ye in at the strait gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in through it. So sometimes the easiest way isn't the best way. Sometimes you got to take that narrow path the path that not everybody else is choosing in order to achieve success. I know plenty of people who have, they were going through something for a while, they might have been homeless, something like that. But, they chose a different path. They decided to work a little bit harder, do things that other people weren't doing, and look where they are now. They've achieved that success. So I'm going to start out in verse 14. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way, which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. So, not many people are going to take the narrow path, because it's harder. You got to work harder. It's just the end of the story. I'm going to give you an example right here. So, I've known somebody who, they used to sell drugs, right? Not just weed, they sold other things, right? So, they got locked up for that. Served some time for that, got out, was like, I'm going to do good, I'm going to get back on track, I'm going to get my life together, blase, blase, blase. Had a job for a month, maybe 2 months, right? They get the job, something happens, they get fired. Instead of hopping back in that job game and being like, you know what, that one didn't work out, God's going to work this out for me. I'm going to continue to strive, I'm going to continue to work hard, and I'm just going to jump back in and try to do it again. But instead, you got some people who just going to go back to selling drugs. Now, okay, so you go back selling drugs. You might be doing good for a while. You might be making money. You might be doing better than you were when you did have a job. But what happens if you do go back to jail? That's just the part about it. What happens if you do go back to jail? Then you're going to be looking stupid. Like, sometimes you have to do what you don't want to do in order to achieve success. The easiest way is not always going to be the best way. In order to achieve success, you're going to have to work a little bit harder. You're going to have to take the path that not everybody takes. And that's just the fact of the matter. There's no ifs, ands, or buts around it. If you want to achieve success, if you want to be great, you got to work. Alright, so I'm going to have to make a part 2. Only because the video is already 7 minutes and 11 seconds long. And I feel like that's just a long time for anybody to be listening to me talk about anything. So I'm going to do a second video so that you can recharge your brain cells and drink some Gatorade. Alright, so part 2 coming soon. Watch this one. I love you. Okay? I love you. Madison. Here. You're such a good boy sometimes.